Welcome on my YouTube channel. Today I will for the first time record a video in English language. We will work on the integrated amplifier Sansui 907 MR, on which we have a lot of work to be done. Like you can hear, most of the controls are very noisy. Loudness switch is not working at all. So now we have to open the amplifier and look inside how it's going on. Okay, how it look inside. For sure it was opened at least once, because the screws are not protected by Teflon anymore. A lot of dust inside, but for now I don't see anything wrong. Left side socket is not connected properly. Right, the same. For now we don't see anything wrong, like replaced capacitors or some semiconductors. So now we have to remove the knobs and front panel. And we will start the renovation from cleaning all the controls. Then we will process the power amplifier, the relays, power supply and phono stage. The floor is removed, faceplate as well. One more thing I found is the broken recording switch, which we will have to find and replace. Now unscrew the screws and the solder parts, which will be cleaned. I started to remove some parts. We have the processor switch removed, and I have desoldered the power amp switch mode, but when I went to pull the switch from the PCB, this part left in my hand and the rest left on the PCB. Looks like someone ever tried to open this switch. Okay, let's start with the controls cleaning. For most of the time I use something like this for the mechanical cleaning of the parts. This is the chemical I use. those contactors usually doesn't require a cleaning because they are made from different material. After cleaning, I flush it with clean isopropanol. And for protecting the contactors, I use contact grease from SGB. If you do it for the first time, take some photos of the position. If you forget the correct position, you can put the slider inside and check if you have properly set the contactors. Now I see it should be in the 4 place. And once again, it's working like it should work. Okay, so first switch is ready. Outside of the camera I will clean the second one, and I will show you cleaning of the real Alps switch. Okay, now I will show you the cleaning of this type of Alps switch. First important thing, don't pull the part with excessive force. Just use the screwdriver to gently remove the cap, because if you pull this part with excessive force, you will have the situation like I show you on the beginning, when the switch become broken. Now we have to remove this part. Before opening, we always leave the switch in off position, and we have 3 places to open. 1 place, 2nd place, and 3rd place. This part you don't touch. remove the pusher and carefully remove the slider. Try to protect the switch so the spring will not go away. Now we have to remove the spring, remove the contactors, the cleaning is almost the same like any other switch. Just use proper chemical. I use Valvoline contact cleaner. After cleaning, let it dry. For a few seconds before you put the protecting grease. The grease should be put on the contactors and also on the place where we fit the spring. Now we have to put the contactors. Now I just do the coarse arrangement. The final arrangement will be made with the slider inside. Okay, and now I pick the slider, when it fits I make few movements forward and backward, and I once again remove it in the off position. Now the hardest part, to fit the spring inside. We need 2 screwdrivers, little and bigger, which with 1 screwdriver I push the spring. When it fits in its place, I use 2nd screwdriver to protect it, and now it's in place. The grease under the spring is for a situation when the spring will go out and you cannot find it. With the grease it will stay in the first place with the contact. Okay, I have made some switches, but still few of them must be done. This board doesn't look good. Someone soldered or desoldered the wires for no reason, because switch itself is untouched. I don't know what someone was searching here, but it doesn't look good. For sure, this one 907 is one of the worst I have worked on. In the last few years I made about 310 of them. So I will make this switch. I have 3 more Alps isostats, and in the next part I will show you how to properly open, clean and close the volume potentiometer. There is the same situation like before. When I start to desolder this switch and try to pull it outside, it looks like this. Now I know for what reason someone desoldered the wires. To make the access to the, I don't know how to say it, to make the easy way to open the switch, and he removed the top of the switch and left the contactors on the PCB. But this is the not correct way of cleaning, and like you saw before, someone cleaned it, but they are still very dirty and noisy. Okay, the switch is removed, and look how it looks after someone's cleaning. Okay, now is the part of the restoration for which I think most of the people will wait. Blue Alps RK 27. First fact: these holes are not for injecting spray. Those holes are for calibrating, which I will show you later. Now, of course, we have to disassembly and clean this control. First part, of course, is to unscrew. First, we have to remove the star lock. I recommend to use the new star lock for assembly, because most of the time during the disassembling this part it gets destroyed. this part of the rubber washer we should left and place later during assembly. I recommend you to place all the parts in the one place. So during the assembly you will not miss it was sprayed before. I hope you see the okay, and this is almost everything. This potentiometer was previously sprayed, so the damping grease has left out. We should remove this security washer and put the new grease on the shaft, which I will do now. Okay, now we have to clean the shaft. Clean the inside of this part. And we have to put new damping grease inside. And here. So the potentiometer will work almost like new. Why almost? Because the damping strength is of course not the same as of the original damping grease, but it's always better than nothing. Okay, now we have to clean the everything else. It worked really good. Now put back this security washer. Okay, and now this is the easy part of the cleaning internal parts. First, the carbon tracks. Those are getting noisy and scratchy not because of the carbon tracks, but because of this part being very dirty. And this part I clean with the brush. Let it dry, and now I will tell you something about the calibrating process. This type of slider is fixed on the shaft. Now we put part of the case, another carbon track, and this slider is not fixed, it's variable. You can see they are totally different. This is the place where you put the screwdriver through the holes. I will show you this in a few seconds. Okay, as you can see, this slider has possibility to move few degrees. And if we have the case closed, we put the screwdriver through the hole and we make the displacement of this part to make both of the carbons equally in. Okay, I will clean the rest of the parts and I will show you the process of calibration. Okay, all the parts are cleaned. Now I have just to assemble the potentiometer with the shaft, new star lock, okay, now we can put it together. And everything else is just calibrating. Okay, generator is on. I took it from the oscilloscope. This is the meter. And we have potentiometer connected, and like you see, when I turn the volume, the needles are going up, and the point is to set them in on place. There is almost 1 decibel difference between left channel and right channel. So I put the camera on its place. I hope you see everything. I need first to find the place. Take some time, of course, to do it. It's wrong direction, like you can see, the difference gets bigger. Looks like we cannot any better, but it's better than before. and we have to repeat this for rest of the two potentiometer parts. So now we calibrate another one. And we have to put it here. This one is getting better. There is of course some difference. Sometimes left channel is on the top, sometimes right channel is on the top. Too much. There is half of the decibel difference. It's enough. One more thing, we should calibrate it in this way. So in the lower position you get better results. Because in most of the time we listen to music on the low levels. And now the last part. This part is used in integrated, so we have to connect additional wires to control the loudness part. And let's see how it's going. The difference again is almost 1 decibel. It should be something like this. In integrated we have almost perfect balance. But don't forget, analog potentiometers are never perfect. Okay. So the job is done. Like you see, it's some time to get it working properly, but trust me, it's worth. Those are very good amplifiers and simply they deserve proper maintenance. Okay, I have removed the broken switch. We will see what's happened inside, and I found the spare part for the broken tape recording switch. I see someone messed up this part. Previously I told you to not disassemble this part because it's difficult to put it back in right direction. This, I think, looks good, so I will try to put it back and we will see if it's working. If not, I will look for the spare part. Okay, it's working again. So now I have to clean the contactors. Oh, so it will not be that easy, except that someone messed with this part. There is a broken contactor inside, so those must be replaced. Okay, 3 of them are totally damaged. So here I have the spare contactors coming out from my spare part for switches and potentiometers. Okay, it's starting to look okay. The restoration is getting closer to the end. I have replaced the broken switch. I have repaired the Alps push button switch. Now I have to clean the tape recording switch and phono cartridge switch, resolder, clean, and another part will be complete. You may think why I don't measure and even replace the capacitors, because this is Sansui Alpha. I didn't change any single capacitor in them, except maybe 1 or 2 normal parts in the protecting board, but it will be checked later. The phono switch is open. This is all dirty, like someone was smoking cigarettes for over 30 years. Just the same you can see on the thermal grease. Don't forget about the different type of contactors. Let's see what's the result of the work. There is one distortion coming from the relay. How to describe that it's exactly from the relay? Because it's changing every time you turn on and turn off the relay. Sometimes it's present, sometimes not. So relay must be cleaned or replaced. But everything else working excellent. Okay, and next step is to maintain the power amplifiers. Usually we remove the glue from the capacitors. There is really just a little glue under this capacitor and this one. This place is free from the glue. Every resistor, every capacitor is original. My favorite Riken resistors. And what else must be done here? There are 4 potentiometers to set the working points. 2 for the bias and 2 for the DC offset. The service manual has some wrong informations. It says we should adjust on of the DC offset between hot and cold side of the amplifier, because it's amplifier working in bridge mode. That's okay, but second potentiometer, the service manual says it should be adjusted between hot and ground. If we adjust in this way, of course it will be working, but it's not correct way. So later I will show you how to properly adjust it. There are 2 sockets on the PCB board, one for cold side bias adjustment, another one for hot side bias adjustment. There is a point for DC offset adjustment, cold and hot side, and for the another one, DC offset adjustment, we need to adjust it with power amplifier module outside of the amplifier, connecting to the diode. I will show you later which one and how to properly adjust it. So I don't want to make this video so long and so boring, so I will not show you how I clean the thermal grease, how I remove the glue, and how I solder the board, because it's boring and already I made a lot of videos like that. So I will do everything I need, and in the end I will just show you the proper adjustments. Okay, the thermal grease is almost cleaned. I really hate doing that, but it must be done. Now the power transistors must be cleaned, and like you can see, everything is original. Okay, and the amplifier is almost ready. What left, I have to clean the thermal grease which come out. Controls are clean. Operating points are set. About the method of adjustment second DC offset, I will make another video about that, because it will take another 30 minutes of video, which already is long. So this one will be in the next video. Leave comments, likes, and give me some feedback if you want to see some more video in English.